Om Jananim Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Advice to the householders. August 13, 1882 we are. Vijayakrishna Goswami and Kedar. Kedar lived several years at Dhaka and he had the friend Vijayakrishna Goswami. The whole thing we saw, how nature as Vidyamaya provides all the needs that a sadhaka needs. The two would spend great part of their time together talking about Sri Ramakrishna and his spiritual experiences. Kedar had once been a member of Brahmo Samaj. Kedar had once been a member of the Brahmo Samaj. He was member of the Brahmo Samaj. Keshav Sen was the leader of Brahmo Samaj. Vijayakrishna Goswami also was one of the followers of Brahmo Samaj. And we see here it is given once upon a time as if had once been the member of Brahmo Samaj. We may take up any way of sadhana temporarily influenced by certain forces, but our innate nature is there, that nature comes out. I may take up an entirely different religion also, live with entirely different race also in a new place. And as the time passes, we see we are back to our own nature, our inner drive. We try to bring all our nature into this field and utilize it. So they are actually, their inner nature is not to be in the Brahma Samaj, to be follower of Brahma Samaj, because there the bhakti part is eliminated. Bhakti is merged in jnana and worship of God, love of God, and all this personal aspect of God, the worship of image, and all this is eliminated. If this is eliminated, the heart, the emotional being would suffer in us, because to love and to be loved is the innermost nature of a human being, because it is the only thing in man that belongs to himself. Mind, intellect, body, all these belong to nature. They are superimposition on his existence. Love is what flows from within. And this love will never get satisfaction or fulfillment in the external world. Because the moment it is turned externally, it becomes small flow out. It is going through a small hole. The ocean is trying to project through a small pipe, and it suffers. And when it is universal love, loving all beings, it again becomes torrents. But the innermost fulfillment never comes. In and through that, he has to go to the next stage of loving God. God is all pervading and beyond. And love is, my love becomes eternal. I want to love and be loved by the eternal. I don't want my love to cease after a few days. I don't want my love to cease after a few lives. No, it has to continue forever. I have to enter into life eternal and experience and express my love eternally. This eternity comes only when it is applied to the divine. All layers within time and space pertaining to this universe, however great and good be it, it is passing. It is a phase of existence. It disappears. The whole universe is a constantly changing flux. You may be loving all people in this world, all beings in this world, including plants and everything, but it is constantly changing. I am also changing. My bodily existence is changing. One day all this play is going to end. I want to go beyond myself. I want to go beyond the nature outside. What is the source of this universe? What is my source? How am I expressing through the three bodies, gross, subtle and causal? Is there a way to go beyond? So this, my struggle for eternal love, eternal peace, eternal bliss, and they must be absolute, not relative. I am at peace, more peace than yesterday. No. Absolute peace I must reach. If it is increasing tomorrow, day after it may decrease all of a sudden. If it suddenly raises to a very high level, mountainous level, day after it may reach the bottoms of the ocean. Because this world is constant. I have to go beyond nature, beyond this existence of relativity, beyond time and space. I want eternal love, eternal peace. So here we see that love is being his own nature, their own nature. Goswami also was born in Vaishnava sect. By birth, they are from their ancestral tendencies, traits, they inherit. The traits that they inherit is Vaishnavic, that is loving God, loving all beings. So they cannot limit it to formless aspect of God, of the Brahma Samaj. He followed the path of bhakti. See, he followed the path of bhakti. Bhakti is being devoted to God, to love God, to sacrifice for God, to worship God, to adore God, to give one's all to God is bhakti. Spiritual talk always brought tears to his eyes. Spiritual talks. There are two things which brings tears to our eyes with respect to when you are in sadhana. One is repentance, one is love. Out of love, excessive love, in which you are dissolving, you see the grace that has made you to love. Out of gratitude, oh, what have you done with me? I don't deserve all this, yet you have given me. That gratitude makes you shed tears of love. The endearing, the love of God, your loving God, the communion in which you exist, that makes you shed tears. One is endearing, one is gratitude. Another side, oh, how did I spend all my life, lives after lives, without moving towards Him? How I was busy with the world of the passing events. how I have kept myself busy with so many things which would never needed my attention at all. It used to happen, it would have happened even if I had not put any mind or paid any attention. It would have passed. It is governed by the law of nature. My ego was saying, you have responsibility, you have duties, you have to do. As long as that ego remains, we do. And then repent, oh, only thing that was needed was only to love God. It was happening by itself. I kept my ego. And to understand this, it takes time. Because it is ego. So there we see the entire field is changing. So here we see that the awareness, the understanding. Now, anybody talking, oh, God has given me that a drop of love He has placed in my heart. He is attracting me, He is holding me. Hearing the beautiful song praising God, tears come out, emotions rouse within. Oh, I am missing Him, I am holding Him. He is there in me, but I am not able to hold. I see Him, but I am not able to hold. So that understanding, that feeling, that longing, various bhavas we pass through, and it brings tears. So any thought of divine, anybody explaining anything, how God enters the life of a devotee, how He transforms, how that limitless love of God. Suppose in some sadhakas or in some saint's life you see God coming as a servant and serving him. Like Eknath Maharaj's life, he comes as the home servant. Then you will see, oh, what is this? It brings tears to your eyes. Because Lord, how humble and how much He loves His devotee and keeps the devotee as if at the beyond his own existence, on His own crown, and as if God is worshipping the devotee and not the devotee worshipping God. So when he sees his own position, oh, what have I done? What do I deserve? That to be a devotee of God. Accept His love, accept His grace, accept His compassion for us. That makes the devotee shed tears. These tears of love, tears of repentance, different tears of gratitude, tears of endearing, tears of sacrifice of God and His own sacrifice. All this combined together, a mixed feelings of pain and pleasure manifests as tears. Brought tears to his. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Kedar was very happy that day, having arranged a religious festival for Sri Ramakrishna. A singer had been hired by Ram, and the whole day passed in joy. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Kedar was very happy that day, having arranged a religious festival for Sri Ramakrishna. A singer had been hired by Ram, and the whole day passed in joy. Master explained to the devotees the secret of communion with God. You see, it is Sri Ramakrishna is perhaps there is no specific mention, but he is still here itself in the Dakshineshwar. And in Dakshineshwar, Kedar has arranged. He was still perhaps living in Dhaka and he has come here to Sri Ramakrishna in the Dakshineshwar, and he has arranged a festival. All devotees have gathered together. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Kedar was very happy that day, having arranged a religious festival for Sri Ramakrishna. A singer had been hired by Ram, that is Ramchandra Datta, has arranged for the whole day passed in joy. Means, you see, Sri Ramakrishna used to always enjoy and encourage being in something, some ecstatic state, away from the normal awareness of the world, where you forget yourself, forget all the concerns of this world, raise about the pain and pleasure, raise about all the physical existence as spiritual beings, dwell in the spiritual world, forgetful of all this entire world. And the only source for all, common source, where all can join, was music, singing and dancing. So Sri Ramakrishna, people used to understand his devotees, intimate devotees who are capable. You know, Sri Ramakrishna did not keep or possess or touch money, or was not able to do any arrangement such, contacting some people, going and coming and listening. No, he was in ecstatic state all the time, dipped in God. So somebody knowing his nature, knowing his experience, what he expects to live, this is called implicit following, explicitly following. Sri Ramakrishna says, I arrange for a bhajan group, and without, what my master needs, does he enjoy, what does he expect us to do, how can we achieve this without being told that will be arranged. It's implicit, explicit and implicit. The implicit, they understand that to what master expects, what they have to do. This understanding has to come as prerana from within, and God alone has to give that prerana, what to do, how to do. And now Kedar has arranged this festival, and Ram has arranged for the singing group, so that the whole, this one will become a Vrindavan, dancing and singing and forgetting the whole world and bodily existence. The whole day passed in great joy. The Master explained to the devotees the secret of communion with God, because it is individual experience, and each soul has to raise itself to a particular state of consciousness, a level of consciousness in which he experiences. And this experience, being experienced, cannot be given to other or shared to other. Experience cannot, I experience something. Experience in spiritual world is awakening to a particular level of consciousness. It is already there. You are tuning to it, you are raising yourself to that level of consciousness, and the consciousness blooms there. You land in a different realm of consciousness. where you experience the world and God in a different way. The more higher levels of consciousness, you are closer and closer to the reality. Lower and lower, you are closer to the material world. So, spiritual existence and material world. So, this experience cannot be. Now, what I experience through eyes, how the world looks, how the depths I see, how far off I can see, what is see, nothing can be explained. I cannot give that experience to a blind person. I can tell in words, I see 5 kilometers away. What is 5 kilometers away? He doesn't know. What is seeing? He doesn't know. I cannot give any experience. When experience tries to express through the words, it is totally distorted. But still, the blind man will know there is something which I am not able to understand what it is, a thing called seeing. There is a thing which is called light, which helps man to see. In darkness, he too cannot see. So this understanding of existence, this transmitted the joy of communion, what it is for a child to be on the lap of mother, and what is it to be in the playground. What would be, suppose a child get lost in some mela, in a huge congregation, child is lost, and what would be his state? So, how he longs to go back to the. Now, while telling a story, while presenting a bhavas through a poem, a singing, I express the joy that I would get. This expression of thought and joy. Now, when Sri Ramakrishna explains what would be the state of communion, it is his experience trying to make us understand there is a thing called communion. And it is accessible. I can reach it. A person who is blind, who is not going to get eyes at any time, any amount of telling will not help. But a person is such that he can be cured of his blindness. One day he will get. Every information is precious. And nature has provided all things needed for man to transcend the nature and go. It is the most valuable thing, the intellect she has given, heart to love she has given, intellect to comprehend and analyze. The nature has provided man. What is needed for transcendence also, to remove the blindness also, is within us. So Sri Ramakrishna is trying to point out to these things within the person. Look here, this is what you are going to get. This is within you to reach that. All things are ready. Put a little efforts and reach that. So he is explaining about the communion with God. Master explained to the devotees the secret of communion with God. Master, with the realization of Sachidananda, one goes into Samadhi. With realization of, here happening together, both mean the same. Entering into Samadhi, a person realizes Sachidananda, or realization of Sachidananda take him to a state of Samadhi. Both mean the same. It is happening together. Going of light or coming of light and going of darkness. Going of light and appearance of darkness happen together. Like that. The Samadhi is a state, just like we pass through the three states of waking, sleep, dreaming, and deep sleep. Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti. We pass through. They are different states of existence, different level of consciousness, which is unrelated to each other. Our existence as dream person is nothing to do with the waking person. That waking person is lost forever when I enter into dream state or deep sleep. I have nothing. The existence of body is unknown when I enter into dream. Nothing of this world, even the awareness of that a world of waking state exists, my body is there, I have to go back, I will be going, but nothing is there. I am totally cut off from that, and I am entering into a different level of existence, an entirely a new experience, a new person altogether. The ego is different, the waking ego is dissolved, the sleeping, dreaming ego has awakened, the waking self is dissolved, dreaming self has awakened. Entirely different, unrelated. Only relation is between my waking person and dreaming person as myself is nature. Nature is making me again wake up and identify with the body and become a new person again, unrelated to the dream person. Only thing that is common to all is the consciousness which is being withdrawn from waking to dreaming, dreaming to deep sleep. It is moving. Except that there is nothing. So this is what we see. Similarly, I am going towards the inward, from waking to dreaming, dreaming to sleep, deep sleep. Like that, when consciousness expands to the beyond, I enter into another level of consciousness, another level of existence, wherein I come in direct contact with the reality. That is called Samadhi Sthiti. In Samadhi Sthiti, I transcend and go beyond. In sleep, I withdraw my individual consciousness and enter into sleep. I expand my consciousness and enter into superconscious state of experiencing higher. Dreaming to waking when I come, I understand dream was unreal, waking is real. From waking when I enter into Samadhi Sthiti, the superconscious state, I expand in consciousness. Not only that, I understand, waking state was unreal. The play was going on. In dream, my individual play was going on. In waking state, a cosmic play was going on. I was a player. Then I go to superconscious state to see the reality. What is the real? So in reality, there I see, I face to face the Chaitanya consciousness as personal God, and still ahead as impersonal God. So this is what is communion, what is Samadhi, Sri Ramakrishna is explaining. Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat, Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.